Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of MMTV. Happy Sunday, everyone. Today is Sunday, October 17th. It's Samantha, your host, and I'm always excited to share this week's segments with you. First off, as always, we have Wesley sharing his question of the week.
Caden, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie ever is Coach Carter.
How come?
Because it's about basketball and I love basketball and it's really well made.
Thank you, Caden. Sam, what's your favorite movie?
Skyfall,
How come?
because it's really well directed and I like the story.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sam.
Yep.
James, what's your favorite movie?
Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
How come?
I really like the storyline and Star Wars is very cool to me.
Awesome,
Very cool
James.
to me.
Natalie, what's your favorite movie?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid,
How come?
because it's really funny.
True. Alana, what's your favorite movie?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
How come?
because I love Matthew Broderick.
Tessa, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is probably Jennifer's Body.
How come?
I think that it touches on feminism in a very cool way and cast Megan Fox, who was at the time being very categorized as just a hot woman, and makes her very cool, and she eats men, so that's fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Theo, what is your favorite movie?
I busted out the letterbox for this one. I really like Baby Driver and Big Time Adolescence.
Awesome. Dahlia, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Cinderella Story.
How come?
I just really like it.
Awesome. Kate, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Pitch Perfect, because I just think it's really funny and I like the music.
Awesome. Monty, what's your favorite movie?
Alright, so my favorite movie has got to be Black Panther because it's one of the first movies in the Marvel Universe to, I wouldn't say accurately, but genuinely try to embrace black culture and try to bring it into light of the new age.
Thank you, Monty. Miss Don, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Sound of Music, because it's a tradition, it's on every year, and I love to sing along with all the songs.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I don't even think I could pick, but what I am sure about is the early dismissal coming up this Wednesday on the 20th. All students will be dismissed at 11:30. Next up, we have Veer giving up his personal top 10 favorite locations, and then following, we have Sam sharing his thoughts on video games. This past week, Monument held its annual Spirit Week and Homecoming Dance. Thank you to all who showed Spartan pride and support for our senior class. Especially thank you to all of the hardworking staff members who helped pull this off. Next up, we are showcasing Adventures of the Little Guy with Clementine and Quimby. Following, we have a new segment regarding music events with Ashlyn. This past Thursday concluded our student council voting. As of this time while filming, we still do not have the results, but we will announce them on next week's episode. As always, let's check out this week's student profile with Ty. Following the student profile, Christopher has this week's update of activities in our art room.
Hey Sam,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. So, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
I think I would have super speed because I could just go wherever I want, anytime I want.
Nice, nice. Do you know any funny jokes? If so, tell me.
No, I do not know any funny jokes.
Alright. Who is your idol and why?
My idol, I think my mom, because she's always inspired me to do whatever I want and gave me inspiration for swimming and stuff like that.
Nice. If you had 3 wishes but couldn't wish for more wishes, what would those 3 wishes be?
I would wish to have all the money in the world, I would wish to live on a tropical island or something like that, and then I would wish for to have whoever friends I want, like with anybody I want, meet anybody.
Nice. If you had to choose one place to live for the rest of your life, where would it be? You kind of just answered this, but...
Yeah, probably like Hawaii or something.
Alright, if you could meet one fictional character, who would you meet and what might you say or do?
Ted from the Ted movies.
Oh, nice. The bear?
Yeah.
Cool.
I would ask him, how does he drive a car? Because in the movies he drives cars, and I don't know how he pushes down on the pedals.
Wow. So would you rather have the ability to speak to animals or speak all human languages? Why?
Speak to animals, 'cause it would be way cooler, because I could speak to any animal I want. I could speak to my dog.
True. So would you rather be incredibly rich but have a really bad reputation, or be liked by everyone but be forever poor? Why?
Forever rich, because I wouldn't care what anybody else thinks.
Good answer. So I guess that's all.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Some people say it's easy to draw, but I really don't think it is, just because I've been so used to drawing in like on the ground view. So like when you try to draw bird's eye view, like it kind of gets warped. And so I'm just kind of follow this video YouTube tutorial, and it's not really working out, but yeah.
I feel like it's probably the easiest out of all of the perspective drawing type things. But I really had to, I actually tried to change my floorboards a little bit, because basically you have to start off like in the middle and like basically just connect every single line here somehow to the middle of that dot. So it's pretty fun, I'd say. I think this example with floorboards and like a room is probably one of the best ones to do, and I think it looks decent because it's meant to look like a cube. It sort of looks like a cube, but I had a little bit tougher time with it because you have to connect these four segments. All the lines have to connect to these four, and it looks more. It does look like a cube, but I think I would have to fix this line a little bit. I feel like it's definitely a moderate hardness. That doesn't really make sense, but it's harder than 1 point perspective. I think that people can master it, and it looks pretty good.
Are you enrolled in the PSATs? If you are, due to shipping delays, it has officially been rescheduled for Tuesday, October 26th. Interested in learning about something new? Sarah brings the segment Fairy Tales of Old, and after is Caitlin with Celebrity Profiles.
Hello, and welcome to Fairy Tales of Old, where every week we discuss and introduce an old fairy tale that's not as well known, and review it as well as provide possible facts. Last week, we reviewed the Irish tale Fjord Ushka, the story of an underwater kingdom located in the Lough of Cork and how the purest water of all the world flooded it. So, let's get into the story. This week, we'll be reviewing an English tale written by Mary D. Morgan in the year 1886. To those who know it, the title is commonly referred to as The Heart of Princess Joan. In the story, we are introduced to a king and queen who live happily together, though the queen was very scornful of fairies, and the fairies felt very resentful of the queen for this. So when the queen had a child whom she named Princess Joan, the fairies stole Joan's heart as revenge. Princess Joan grew up to be the most beautiful girl in all the land, but since she had no heart, she was unable to love anybody, even her own parents. In another kingdom, there lived a prince named Michael. Michael often frequented a local wizard's tower. One day, when Michael went to visit his wizard friend, he saw in one of the books a picture of Princess Joan. He thought she was very beautiful and wished to meet her. The wizard warned against it, but Michael, regardless, still wished to see her in person, so he disguised himself as a beggar to learn what was so wrong with Princess Joan that he shouldn't be able to meet her. Learning how ruthless and unloving Joan was, he spoke to the queen, who explained to him how Princess Joan's heart had been stolen. Michael, now determined to marry Joan, promised to retrieve her heart and that, should he not return within 7 years, Joan could marry someone else. Prince Michael soon set off and found the journey to be much more taxing than he expected it to be. His boat landed upon another island with a castle and a small house. He found a man and a pet snake at the small house, who told Michael he would show him the way into the castle if Michael agreed to be a slave until his snake's eggs hatched. Michael consented, but soon years passed and the eggs never hatched. He waited patiently, but they still never hatched. He even tried breaking them, but then they still never hatched. As he cried, tears of frustration fell upon the eggs, which at long last hatched, and he was shown the way into the castle. The man who owned the snake told Michael never to accept anything except the heart, advice which was soon to be found useful, as a fairy of many different disguises offered him some enchanted food. He rejected the food and was finally given Princess Joan's heart, along with some magic words to repeat to restore it to her. When he returned to Princess Joan's castle, he was mistakenly imprisoned. When the princess came to his cell, he chanted the magic words and returned her heart to her. The heart fluttered back into her chest, and she immediately recognized him as her true love. I honestly don't know how I feel about this story. I do love the idea of someone doing something so kind for someone else, but not for the sake of his own self. It is a very nice story, though, and it reminds me quite a bit of previous Hans Christian Andersen stories with the way it was written. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story, and I'll see you next time on Fairy Tales of Old.
This past week, most fall sports have had their senior nights. Senior nights are typically the last home game. Unfortunately, this past Friday, the football senior night needed to be canceled. Our support goes out to the seniors who have dedicated so much of their time to our team. Julia was not with us this week, but no worries because our current events segment will be back next week. In different form of news, we have national sports news delivered by Caden. This upcoming Friday, we have students working on the annual Halloween window paintings. We can't wait to see what everyone creates. Next up, Carmen, Heidi, and Adriana bring us a new segment on Spanish singers. And then continuing, we have Wilbur and Pedro talking about an American scientist. Hungry? This upcoming week's lunches start on Monday with hamburgers, cheeseburgers, or veggie burgers. Tuesday is mac and cheese. Wednesday, there is no lunch, and then we finish off the week strong with chicken nuggets Thursday and cheese pizza on Friday. Finishing up today's show, we have Mia and Dakota with TV show reviews.
Hello everyone and welcome back to me and Dakota's TV review. How are you today, Dakota?
I'm good, and how about you?
I'm good. Today we'll be talking about a show that goes along with the horror-themed month. It takes some real-life horror stories and put these fictional twists with it to make it much scarier. The show is not for little kids and people who get disturbed easily.
The show is American Horror Stories. The show has 11 seasons with its newest still being released weekly.
The whole concept of the show is a new story each season while trying to remain the same cast. What I mean is by this is one of the actors named Evan Peters played characters named Tate, Kit, Kai, Kyle, and March. Each character was from a different season.
Some of the seasons are called Freak Show, Cult Asylum, Coven, and Murder House, which talks about different tales.
Asylum talked about how terrible the asylum's treating their patients. They are actually loosely based it off Nellie Bly. Nellie, in 1887, went into asylum to see the torment the patient got. She stayed there She stayed there for 10 days and got all the information she needed to write her article. In the show, the woman is named Lana Winters, was the detective journalist. She went into Briarcliff Asylum pretending to be mentally ill. Well, the story's a lot more happens, like demon possession, alien abduction, and murder named Bloodyface. Wow. Those things were fictional. Lana Winters was based on a true event.
They have more stories like Lana Winters, but that was just an example on Rotten Tomatoes. It scored a 77% with critics and 72% with audiences.
I personally like the fact that it plays psychological horror some parts just to make your skin crawl and has a great what just happened moments. While some other parts are gruesome, the whole show really isn't. They try to go with more fictional horror so that way it scares some but also lets them know what most likely won't happen. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Alright, yeah, so
What a great way to end this week's episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions, you can email them to monument.tv2021@gmail.com. That wraps up this week, but we cannot wait for the next, so tune in next week, same time, same channel. This has been Samantha from MMTV, signing off.